Good afternoon. Chief Planner of the Ministry of Natural Resources of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Zhang Ding, leaders of the Shenzhen Municipal People's Government, distinguished speakers and guests. Thank you to the Planning and Natural Resources Bureau of Shenzhen Municipality for inviting me to the Shenzhen Urban Index Forum. While I'm unable to be with you in person today, I'm delighted to share some thoughts with you virtually. Firstly, let me congratulate the Shenzhen Urban Planning and Land Resource Research Center on the launch of the Shenzhen Urban Index, a new contribution to how cities can systematically approach and prioritize urban development challenges. In today's interconnected world, there is much in common across different cities, especially in terms of what our cities seek for their residents. Such frameworks can serve as a good basis for cross-sharing of knowledge. They allow cities to benchmark progress, learn from each other's experiences, and adapt successful strategies to their own unique contexts. Frameworks like the Shenzhen Urban Index contribute to building a global knowledge base for urban innovation. At the Centre for Livable Cities Singapore, we recognize that urban livability is not a one-time goal. It must evolve continuously as cities grow and develop, shaped by changing needs and aspirations, as well as global trends, including the impact of climate change, trade flows, and emerging technology. In 2010, CLC developed a livability framework that captured and distilled key lessons from Singapore's development journey. We launched a refreshed version of this framework at the World City Summit in June 2024. This took into consideration new approaches adopted by cities in response to new challenges across the world. The framework distills the desired outcomes and supporting systems needed to achieve livability and sustainable development. Drawing from the experience of Singapore and leading cities around the world, it serves as a forward-looking guide for cities that seek to be livable, sustainable, and resilient against the backdrop of future trends. The framework depicts the three desired outcomes of livability. These are high quality of life, competitive economy, and sustainable environment. For a city to be livable, it must also be economically competitive and environmentally sustainable. For example, a city may be economically vibrant, but if its residents struggle with poor air quality or unaffordable housing, it would not be livable. Equally, environmental sustainability means little if people cannot find suitable work or if they cannot access healthcare for a high quality of life. Livability emerges from the balanced delivery of these interconnected elements. Achieving and sustaining livability outcomes requires robust supporting systems that guide planning, decision-making, and implementation. Within the framework, these complementary systems are integrated master planning and development, dynamic urban governance, and a collaborative ecosystem. They provide the essential foundations for cities to navigate competing demands and to achieve a more livable and sustainable future. While the livability framework was originally developed from Singapore's urban experience, we found it useful to promote dialogue between cities. Indeed, every framework offers unique perspectives that can inform and enrich urban practice globally. Cities may face similar challenges, but the solutions they adopt must reflect their distinct cultural, economic, and geographical contexts, and we can learn from these different approaches. Frameworks not only provide strategic direction on what cities should aspire to, they can also translate abstract concepts like livability into tangible metrics that cities can assess, track, and improve upon over time. This measurable dimension is increasingly important. Urban leaders seek evidence-based approaches to guide their decisions. Traditional metrics such as GDP per capita, crime rates, and infrastructure density are important, but they tell only part of the story. Measurement frameworks must account for current realities and emerging priorities, as well as to help us better understand the lived experiences of our residents. So as we look ahead, the cities that thrive will be those that can measure what matters the most to their residents. Measuring means having information to act on so that leaders can seek to improve performance in those areas that matter the most. Today's discussions focus on innovative practices and insights in urban governance. They offer us an opportunity to explore new approaches like how the Shenzhen Urban Index demonstrates ways of measuring and improving urban livability. Most importantly, these conversations will help ensure that these measurements drive meaningful change for the communities that we serve. I wish you all a productive and insightful forum. Thank you.